What is happening, every people? Welcome to the Mad Poet stream. So we've got a bunch of people tuning in from Nemo as per usual. So we've got Emmett here. Emmett, great to see you again. I haven't seen you in a long time. Great having you back. And yes, of course, I do remember you. Obscure Mysticism Cults, one of my most loyal, dedicated viewers. Tuning in from YouTube as per always. Great to see you. Looks like we might have some people watching from live space. Welcome. Glad to have you all here. Just doing a Tuesday stream for no good reason at all. Why not? Sometimes you just need to crank it up and rock it. Speaking of which, this will not affect you guys' volume, but I'm going to turn it up a little more on my end because it's just that kind of a day. So let's do that. And I got to call in my light crew already and fix one rogue light. BRB. Fortunately, these aren't easy fix. Boom! Done. All right, we are playing my 60-second album tonight. It is called Spider. This next song, we're going to keep going with the upbeat nature of what we got going on here. This piece is called Frantic Whispers. Alrighty then. If anyone's just coming in, if you're a little new to what we're doing here, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. We play rock music. We talk about pizza. Sometimes we do other stuff, but that's mostly it right there. It's kind of what's going on here in the Mad Poet shows. I normally do shows every Friday, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific, but today's a Tuesday, and I just felt like streaming. I was like, hey, seems like a good time to stream. I think I'll do that. So here we are. Every time I get to this next song, I feel like I'm supposed to say we're going to slow it down, but then I start playing it, I realize, this really isn't all that slow of a song. It's just kind of got a lighter intro going. So we're not really going to slow down, but I feel like I should say it anyway, but I'm not going to, but I already did. I don't know what the hell's going on. This song's called Wild Rose. So I've been experimenting with my pizza crust a bit. About, I don't know, 2 weeks ago maybe, I ran out of white flour. So all I had was a bunch of wheat flour. Well, I was at the end of my white flour. Didn't have quite enough to make a pizza, so I added a little bit of wheat flour to it. I'm like, hey, that actually really helps the crust out. Probably just put like 1/8 of a cup in. It was really quite good. I'm like, I need to experiment with this. I recently made a pizza with a whole wheat crust. I'm like, that actually came out pretty darn good. And then I've been kind of experimenting with my pizzas over the last couple of weeks with different amounts of white and wheat flour. I'm haven't experimented with wheat flour much with these thin crust pizzas. I know that the wheat flour does not work well with my beer batter pizzas. Those are a thicker crust, and I've tried it, and the wheat just doesn't work. But on this thin crust, it's kind of a good addition. So experiment with your pizza crust. That's the moral of the story here. Because pizza is how life works. It's just the truth. It's the way it is. All right. So, playing music, kind of another part of what I do. Just kind of looking at my instruments here. I think there may be some slight glitches in the internet. Hopefully you guys are getting good image and audio for this performance. There's only so much I can control about my internet, which is, pretty much let it do its thing. This next one, kind of a C Phrygian piece here. Shorter little song. This is one of these songs where I feel like, sometimes I play it and I feel like, maybe I should have made that a little longer. And then other times I play it and I'm like, no, I think I got it just about right. Close enough. This is called Until We Collapse. sure what's coming up here next. As I've said many times, here we are. As I've said many times, I don't remember all of the titles of my songs and albums because I've done quite a few of them. And so the way I'm set up here is I got some sheet music scrolling by in front of me, and until the page changes over to where it says the title, I have no idea what I'm going to be playing next. There is kind of an important announcement coming up about one of my songs where I've always made a particular statement about it, and I'm going to have to change that statement today. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are just coming in, if you're new to what we do, I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you for being here. Today we're playing my 62nd album. It is called Spider. Creepy, crawly spiders, arachnophobes, and arachnophiles are, of course, welcome at this show. And this next song is called Crimson Kiss. before I played that song, I mentioned that, that was actually good timing. My batteries, this is not what I mentioned, but I just realized the batteries just ran out just as that song was ending. So let's change the batteries, because that's kind of important. Don't really have to have a wireless for the small area I'm in, but wireless systems, once you get used to them, it's hard to go back. I got these rechargeable batteries that I can drop all over the floor. Well, I'm never going to find that again. It's all right, I got more in here. Well, these rechargeable batteries have been freaking awesome. They're a big, big money saver. That's for sure. Because if I had to pay for new batteries every time, I would not be using my wireless system. That would be a problem. There we are. Got some juice there. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Before I played that last song, I mentioned that I do have an announcement to make about one of the songs on this album. This is not that song, but there is something else we need to talk about with this song. And of course, my regulars already know what's about to happen because, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, thank you for being here. I am the Mad Poet, and we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. This song is called Where Have You Been? Okay. So I alluded to it, and here we are. I have to present a retraction. On some of my albums, I will have a song that is the same title as the album. On this album, that is not the case. The album is titled Spider. Now, I have often said that even though I allude to the title of the album in this, the important part about this particular track is that I have claimed in the past that this is the greatest song title of all time. I am now retracting that statement. It's retracted by the Mad Poet. I'm going to say this is in fact the second greatest song title of all time because I have learned of a better song title. These things happen. You have to be able to change your mind in life, people. I'm going to say that the greatest song title of all time came out in 1940 by Ozzie Nelson. A song titled, and this is great, this is amazing. And it's a song worth listening to. In fact, I'm going to urge strongly, if you want to hear a really fun song, from 1940, Ozzie Nelson, a song titled, I'm Looking for a Guy Who Plays Alto and Baritone and Doubles on the Clarinet and Wears a size 37 suit. Ozzy's got me beat on that. Well done, Mr. Nelson. That is the greatest song title of all time. I do have something over Ozzie Nelson because he's dead. So at least I got that going for me. So, now I give you the second greatest song title of all time by the Mad Poet. The song is called A Spider, an Octopus, Two Horses, and Other Things with 8 Legs. Mr. Stark, good morning to you, lad. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And Jeff says, this song rips. Hell yeah. Thank you very much. Well, you know, with the title like A Spider, an Octopus, Two Horses, and Other Things with 8 Legs, the song kind of has to rip. This is the way things go. I kind of messed up at the end there, I noticed, but you know, these things happen. Live performance. It's an interesting form of live performance. I've been doing this online thing for a little over probably close to 2.5 years now. I really like it. As I've said before, one of the nice things about the online environment is I don't have to lug amplifiers around to venues anymore, which is freaking awesome. Everything, I just turn things on and here I go. You know, get all the lights going, turn the amplifiers up, boom, we're set. And so that makes it really nice. But still, it is definitely a live performance setup. Mistakes do happen. I've had a different set of tech issues to work with, but I like it. It is a good time. And since now I live pretty much, you know, pretty close to the middle of nowhere, it's a lot easier than trying to find gigs. So this is what we do. If anyone's coming in late, if you're unfamiliar with what we do, I'm the Mad Poet, you are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Tonight we're playing my 62nd album. It is called Spider. That last song, second greatest song title of all time, A Spider, an Octopus, Two Horses, and Other Things with 8 Legs. And Jeff says this is why he's a singer, nothing to lug around. That is true. Microphones tend to weigh a lot less than, you know, full stack amplifiers. So yes, that not all musicianship is created equally. And yeah, you know, keyboard players have a very different setup. Drummers have got an awful lot of crap to lug around. That's always a big one there, the drum set. Whether it's an electric kit or an acoustic kit, doesn't really matter. That's a big setup. But and Jeff is a very, people are unfamiliar with him. Jeff, if you want, feel free to type your band's web address into the chat there. Let people know about your group. I would love to hear some of your new stuff. Jeff is a very good singer. I've seen Jeff live a few times with some bands he used to play with out in the Pacific Northwest. And yeah, very entertaining dude live. Very cool guy in real life. Haven't seen him in person probably for about 6 years, but you know, that's what happens when you're like me and you just stay indoors all the time. Which I like. All right. This next song is called Unchangeable Destinations. chat. And I know that I've got multiple chat windows, so in case anyone can't see it, check out Adamantis, my friend Jeff's band. Adamantis. And that's adamantismetal.bandcamp.com. Bandcamp is a good website. I've got all my work up on Bandcamp, and I've done okay on that. I've had quite a few sales off of Bandcamp. It's a pretty cool website. If any musicians are out there thinking about how you're going to release your music, definitely check out Bandcamp. It is a good one. You can set it up. You can set your own prices on it. You can allow people to pay what you want, and that's what I do on my releases. And it's a good setup. They have a reasonable portion that they take. A lot of a lot of distribution sites will take a much bigger chunk. I think they take like 10 or 15%. Yeah, Jeff also thumbs up on the Bandcamp thing. So definitely good stuff. We are moving in toward the end of the night here. We've got 2 songs left on this album. I think I got 10 songs. Yeah, 2 songs left on this. And this next one, I've talked about this a few times. It's written in B flat minor and in a standard tune guitar, which is what I play on. B flat minor is a scale where you don't have any open strings available, so you have to be very cautious about if you use any of your open strings. You got to really know what you're doing. Mr. Paris is here, coming in from Facebook as well. Also uses he uses Bum Cramp instead of Bandcamp. Oh, Steven, we need to do a chat one of these days, my friend. I haven't talked to you for a while. Hope everyone out there is doing well. Absolutely. Stephen Paris coming in with his normal Nigel Mustafa style wit. Good stuff. B flat minor, 140 beats a minute. This next song is called The Theory and Practice of Mayhem. I think this is the first time I've done this. So I've got this foot pedal I use to start and stop songs, and I just stepped on it. I am such a knob. I am so bad at this sometimes. That song was like 5 measures from being over. I was like right at the end of it. Just get some lights on. Here we go. I don't think I've done that one before. I accidentally stepped on that in the middle of a song. I know where it's at. And the funny thing is, this is actually twice in this show because if anyone was watching just when the show came on, I had a false start. My starting soon screen was going, and then my start screen started, and I shut it down real quick. So I've stepped on this accidentally twice today. It happens. Apparently it does happen. Let there be light. Yes, okay. Like I said, I was just a few measures away from the end of that song. We got one song left here, and then I'm gonna go out and do my evening run, which I've been kind of waiting for it to cool down a bit. It was around 100 degrees when I started the show, so it should be cool enough to go on at least a short run tonight. And Steven says, at least my entire rig didn't explode again. I did a show with Steven's group years and years ago. This was probably about, I don't know, 600 years ago or so. And I was playing the song Mental Floss off of my first album. So this actually probably would have been around 2002, 2003. It was not long before the release of my first album. And I had played Sanity Sucks, went really well. Played Mental Floss, we're just getting past the secret agent on stage scene, which was awesome. And just getting to where the song really starts kicking in my entire system. Just flatlined. It was amazing. So good. And Steven has mentioned that for quite a few years after that, people asked about me and that show. So it kind of made Nigel Mustafa history, which makes me very proud. I'm also very proud of the fact that I am actually mentioned in a Nigel Mustafa song off of their 4th album. I might be wrong on the number, which is called Rankle Dankle Fish with Hands. They actually mentioned me in a song called I Eat People. I am not the person who eats people, but I am mentioned in the song. And I'm very proud of that. So let's finish this up. Last song of the evening. It's been a fun show. This is called Screaming in Your Sleep. Helm of the Anti-Lemon. Tuning in from YouTube. That is a killer username. The Helm of the Anti-Lemon. I dig that. I totally dig that. Thanks very much for being here. Unfortunately, that was the last song we've got. Helm said that was very cool, and I appreciate that. If you're new, if you haven't seen my before, I do these shows every Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. in the Pacific time zone. Of course, adjust for your own time zone as necessary worldwide. I'm actually streaming to 12 different platforms, so kind of going all over the place. And this was just kind of a one-off, but I do like doing these random streams every once in a while here and there. So yes, please do tune back in. Steven tuning in from Facebook says, wow, that was awesome. That is a really fun song. I really get a kick out of playing that one. And just, these shows are just so much fun to do. I love my light show. That took freaking ages to get that all crazy garbage set up. And actually, just like about a month ago, I think I actually finally got them to synchronize correctly. It was always a slight delay. And I think I've got them looking a lot better as I go back and watch the replay videos. So, oh, Deirdre's just tuning in. You know what? Why don't we go back, since we got a couple of people just coming in. Let's go back and play another song. Let me see. Let me check my song list on this, because if people are just coming in, let's and see what we got. So what's a good one to hit people with here? Unfortunately it's kind of tough for me to change to a different album, but people come and go. So let's play. Let's do Frantic Whispers. This is a fast-paced, upbeat kind of piece. And, I didn't mention this when I played it earlier, but this song is actually dedicated to my grandfather. On every album that I do, I dedicate a song to someone. And yeah, one more song. That's what we'll do, Deirdre. You're heading west tomorrow. Cool. If you happen to be stopping in Eastern Washington, let's grab a coffee. Okay. So for the last song of the evening, for the second time, this song is called Frantic Whispers. Well, maybe it's called... Oh, I know what happened. Okay. Let me just... You guys are going to lose me for a moment here. Okay, let's try this now. I'll see what happened. Don't normally do it this way. Last song of the evening, Frantic Whispers. gangsters, that is it for me. Thank you for sticking around. This was a very fun show tonight from Promptu Show. Home of the Anti-Lemon, great to see you for the first time. Jeff, Emmett, Steve, Deirdre, thank you all for coming in. Wherever you're tuning in from, all my people on Nemo, Vaughn, Picardo, Live Space, Africa TV, D-Live, Trovo, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're tuning in from, thank you very much. I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. I will definitely be back on Friday, 8 o'clock p.m. in the Pacific time zone. Adjust for your own time zone as necessary. And I will see you on the other side.